Symbols possess immense power. They transcend language, conveying complex ideas and emotions in a single image. Throughout history, political movements have understood this power, rallying behind flags, emblems, and anthems. One such symbol, forever etched in the annals of the 20th century, is the hammer and sickle. This powerful emblem, representing the worker and the peasant, became synonymous with communism. Its creation and adoption mirrored the tumultuous social and political upheavals of early 20th century Russia. The hammer and sickle, far from being a mere design, encapsulated the core tenets of Marxist ideology. It embodied the unity of the industrial proletariat and the rural peasantry. Their combined might, according to Marxist thought, would overthrow the existing social order and usher in a new era of equality and collective ownership. Understanding the origins of the hammer and sickle requires delving into the historical context of its birth. We must journey back to the heart of Tsarist Russia, where the seeds of revolution were sown. At the dawn of the 20th century, Russia found itself at a crossroads. Ruled by the autocratic Tsar Nicholas II, the vast empire grappled with widespread poverty, social inequality, and political oppression. The burgeoning industrial revolution in the cities stood in stark contrast to the antiquated feudal system that still dominated the countryside. Millions of peasants toiled on land owned by a privileged few. The burgeoning industrial workforce, concentrated in cities like St. Petersburg and Moscow, faced harsh working conditions and meager wages. Discontent simmered among both the peasantry and the proletariat. The Tsar's regime, increasingly out of touch with the plight of the masses, resorted to brutal repression to quell dissent. Radical ideologies, particularly Marxism, found fertile ground in this climate of unrest. Marxism, with its emphasis on class struggle and the inevitable overthrow of capitalist systems, resonated with the plight of both workers and peasants. The stage was set for a revolution. The Russian Revolution of 1917 shattered centuries of Tsarist rule. From the ashes of the Romanov dynasty rose the Bolsheviks, a revolutionary party led by Vladimir Lenin. The Bolsheviks, steeped in Marxist ideology, sought to establish this new state would be built on the principles of collective ownership, worker control, and the abolition of class distinctions. In the aftermath of the revolution, a need arose for a new symbol. This new symbol would embody the ideals of the newly formed Soviet Union. The hammer and sickle emblem, designed by an artist named Evgeny Kamzolkin, emerged as a powerful representation of the new order. The hammer, a tool of the industrial worker, represented the urban proletariat. The sickle, an implement of agriculture, symbolized the rural peasantry. The choice of these two symbols was deliberate, reflecting the Bolsheviks' belief in the unity of the working class. The hammer and sickle intertwined represented the combined strength of these two groups. Together, they would forge a new society, free from the shackles of oppression. This powerful image resonated deeply with the masses, quickly becoming a potent symbol of the Soviet state. The hammer and sickle, though simple in design, carried profound symbolism. The hammer, a tool used to shape and forge metal, represented the industrial proletariat. Factory workers, miners, and metal workers, toiling in the burgeoning industries of urban Russia, saw in the hammer a symbol of their own labor and struggle. The sickle, traditionally used for harvesting crops, symbolized the rural peasantry. For generations, peasants had worked the land, their lives intrinsically tied to the cycles of nature. The sickle represented their connection to the soil, their role as providers of food for the nation. The juxtaposition of these two tools, one representing industrial labor and the other agricultural work, underscored a fundamental tenet of Marxist ideology, the unity of the working class.